Leo, we're back.
What?
It's time to do Shakedown.
We're back? What do you mean we're back? I never left.
Drive's back. Shakedown's back. Come on.
What are you talking about? I'm not back. It's the audience that left. You guys, you're back. I've been sitting here since the last Shakedown show, that Spa 24 video from February 5th. I've been here since the last Shakedown studio show on February 1st. Been sitting here waiting for you viewers to come back. Well, Ian, whatever. Welcome to Shakedown 2013, Season 6 on Drive. It's the start of a new year, so I better start with a preview of the racing that'll be coming up in 2013. Like in F1, Mark Webber will emerge as the Infiniti Red Bull Racing team driver #1, disputing any evidence that in the future Mark can be pushed around. Danica Patrick will prove that the move to NASCAR was perfect for her driving style. She too will dominate, to the point that the France family that owns NASCAR will rename the series Danicar. And VW will enter WRC but fail miserably. No one in their first year of competition can win all the rallies save for one, and maybe finish second in the one that they don't win. And in sports car racing, it's all going to be about what?
Leo, it's May.
What?
The racing's already started. It's been going on for 5 months. It's too late for predictions.
What? But Drive just launched. What calendar are we using around here that starts the year in May? The Discordian calendar, the Mayan calendar, the Rapa Nui, the Zoroastrian calendar? Those are all real, by the way. Oh, no, it's the Musealian calendar. Okay, I get it. Was I right with those predictions? No? Look, I never left the desk. But go to break, we'll launch Shakedown 2013. Can I predict that? Let's do 3 things today on the return of Shakedown, Season 6 on Drive. Number 1, let me tell you what's in store for Shakedown and you viewers in 2013. Number 2, let's do a recap of the racing to date and a preview of the racing that's happening this weekend. And number 3, let's warm up with my first rant of the new year. Let's start with telling you how Shakedown will work this year. Once a week, every Friday. But every month there'll be 4 different versions of Shakedown. Like having a high-speed spa setup and then a street course setup for a Long Beach configuration, high downforce, and hopefully all of them won't be low drag. Get it? Yep, the bad jokes are back. So first, there'll be a straight studio show like this one. My opinion, attitude, any topic. Not really the racing news, because you can get those facts anywhere, everywhere, and faster than on a Friday, but more translation and analysis, the did you knows, and what do you think about. Next, we'll have an interview every month. It could be in the studio, could be on Skype, but always good people and their interesting insights. Then we'll have a new version of Shakedown called TrackDown. Since I'm at every ALMS race, doing my day job work and working on the Porsche IMSA GT3 Cup Challenge by Yokohama videos, the ones you see here on Drive, the series with the Porsche race cars with the yellow Hertz windshield banners, yes, that was a sponsor plug. Since I'm at those races, I've tracked down 2 racers and convinced them to take turns guest hosting Shakedown shows with me. So each month, Viper Racer Tommy Kendall, remember him from our Race of Champions broadcast, and or Corvette Racing program manager Doug Fian will be on TrackDown. And we'll snark on the racing goings-on in general and the Viper and Corvette programs in particular. You'll love their opinions. Both have no shortage of those, or personality. And finally, the 4th version of Shakedown 2013 is ShakeDown Nation. Fastlane Daily occasional host and someone who works in the car biz, Christina Thompson, will join me, and we will bring you a show that plays off your comments, opinions, and interests. And for those of you in the US, think of it as ESPN Sports Nation, but for racing. We'll have segments like Things You May Have Missed, the They Said, They Meant, They Should Have Said, racer quotes and our translations, and best of all, viewer polls on questions, topics, news of the day. See, I really do care about your thoughts, opinions, and comments. Even the ones that suggest I shave my head, grow, stare goofily into the camera, gain a bazillion pounds, adopt a Brit accent, or just die. Hey, besides, I'm tired of only hearing myself. Oh, you too? So bring on the guest hosts. So that's the plan, given the tools I've been given to work with. But I got other ideas to try to do more, like out of the studio field trips, Shakedown University training, etc., etc. But even without that stuff, we got 4 big shows every month. So tune in to Shakedown on Friday. Follow me on my Twitter and Facebook accounts, and check out the Shakedown stuff on Shakedown on Kinja and, of course, /Drive TV. All the links are below. Next, The racing year is already up and running, so here's the Shakedown Racing flash cap recap of the 2013 racing to date. Only a few words in just a few moments, but right to the point, hopefully. F1, tires, too much show. Lewis, for real. Vettel, still the one to beat, but his good guy mask has got pulled off. McLaren are pretenders again. Ferrari Alonso are strong. Kimi's good. DRS sucks. Politics and dollars will wound F1, but you have to watch. It's intense drama and the highest order of performance art. WRC Rally. We miss Loeb, but VW and Sebastian Ogier have replaced the other Seb's dominance. This weekend they go head-to-head as Argentina is one of the WRC events that Loeb has chosen to appear. And the last time Loeb WRC'd was Monte Carlo, and he won. The only WRC to date that VW has not won. They finished second in Monte Carlo, by the way. Sports cars. We got World Endurance Championship, ALMS, Grand Am, ELMS, FIA GT Series, World Challenge, blah, blah, freaking blah. And either way, either they're all geniuses for having so many places to race, or the US is smarter with its ALMS Grand Am consolidation into the 2014 United Sports Car Racing Series. But already the pissing contest about Daytona prototypes versus P2 specs suggests that the Rodney King of sports car racing, you know, the can't we all just get along guy from the LA riots of 1990s, that guy in racing may not exist. Although not for the lack of trying by operations leaders Scott Elkins and Richard Buck from the USR. As to the racing, P1, they're spaceships. They're awesome. P2 is on life support in the US, but it's the biggest class of racing at the Le Mans 24. GT racing is always great. And in the US and soon at Le Mans, Viper is racing much better. And Porsche has their new GT car. And everybody is sandbagging before Le Mans to avoid performance adjustments. Now, WEC is in Spa this weekend. Toyota finally rolling out their new 2013 edition. This is the last race before Le Mans. And yes, we'll be doing another 25 hours of the 24 Hours of Le Mans live stream. I'll check the calendar. Hopefully a drive is planned for the same day as the actual race, June 22 and 23. You know, not sometime 5 months later. That was a joke. Ha, ha, ha. Sedan racing. DTM is going DRS and tire compounding? Really? More show versus racing? I thought the racing was good. DTM Race 1 for 2013 is this weekend. And a US DTM series is coming in 2015 or 16. V8 supercars. New cars, still great racing. So why can't NASCAR do the same when they went to their new Gen 6 race cars? Aussie V8s are also in action this weekend. But Ford, Nissan, Mercedes, they need to step it up versus Holden. World Touring Cars is suffering from the loss of Chevy, but the gain of factory Honda. Yeah, whatever. And in the US, the Conti Tire Series is huge. Formula Drift and Global Rallycross, they're still putting on a good show. MotoGP, Rossi's back on a good bike, but Lorenzo is faster still. And Honda rookie Marc Marquez is the next thing. He's already won a race. MotoGP goes this weekend in Spain. And could the storyline be any more obvious? And why are most of all the best riders all Spanish? Then there's IndyCar. It's still the Indy 500, and then they run a bunch of other races. With teams, owners, drivers, they're really good, but living in their own bubble of divorce from reality and viewers. And then there's NASCAR, more of the same, both the good and the bad. Now, so far this year, I've been to 2 big meetings with big European manufacturers and racing brands, and they see NASCAR as US racing. So I want NASCAR to be great. I need it to be great, because to everyone else in the world, it represents us. So to recap, stylistically, F1 good. WRC in a holding pattern until 2014, when more manufacturer competition comes to play, like Hyundai, Toyota, maybe more. Sports car racing, waiting for unification. Sedan racing and MotoGP, don't screw up a good thing. And the racing this weekend you should follow: IndyCar, MotoGP, WEC, DTM, V8 supercars, World Touring Cars, WRC, and NASCAR at their biggest track, Talladega, which really is worth the watch. And now a quick shakedown rant to get the year going. Racing is its own worst enemy. We as racers and racing fans are either too close to the action or just a bunch of morons that love to screw up success. Yeah, I know Euro and US economies suck, making spending on racing tougher than ever. And yeah, kids still like their phones more than cars. But Buddha H. Christ, do we have to help them make the choice away from racing, make it so easy? It seems living in our bubble of racing gets racing to forget the sport has to be appealing versus everything else in the world. Everything, not just other racing. And to do that does not mean dumbing it down for the masses or dropping the sport for more show. Look at football, American and global. It's wildly popular, and they immerse you in tech, data, and schemes, and everything. Racing does not need to be unnecessarily selfish or negative in the press. We got Bernie with his "I hate the 2014 turbo talk," or self-inflicting distractions to the excitement of racing. NASCAR and IndyCar are best at those skills. You got NASCAR penalties right now that make no sense. You have the Indy 500 coming, but press releases that tell me about teams going out of business. And last year at Indy, after an intensely engaging 500 race, the distraction was all about the bagging of the IndyCar CEO. Screw the race. Let's watch the dead man walking reality show. Oh, and they did off the guy and gave control back to the family that for decades drove IndyCar into the wall like a rookie on pole day. Yes, racing is business and rules and politics, like everything else. But racing seems to do everything it can to air its laundry out the window like an Italian family in a 5-story walk-up apartment building in the Bronx circa 1950. Long ago, someone taught me that these are the things that interest people, that make them care about paying attention, and they're relevant to racing. First, aspirations, anxieties, how-tos, David versus Goliath, contrarian views, glitz and glamour, new trends, relevance, personalities. And I want to add authenticity to the list because I believe people are more cynical, skeptical, and angry about being sold than ever before. So looking at that list, I ask you to think about which racing series hit the most of those cylinders to attract fans. Start with aspiration. That should be easy. The attainable dream or the role model. Anxieties. Got a ton of those in racing. How-tos. And frankly, sim driving videos may be the best tools for that. You know, the sims where you don't have to drive with a jet booster, machine guns, or score points by driving over Girl Scouts. How about David versus Goliath? Check. In racing or not. In many series, it's the haves and the you never will have. But David versus Goliath does exist in racing. Just keep it authentic, not made up. Contrarian views. We need more. Or, simply stated, stop at the spec cars and let different options fly. How about glitz and glamour? Well, yeah. New trends? Stop hating on new tech because, first, it allows the manufacturers to spend on racing because it's relevant tech to their business. Hell, diesel race cars are fine. And there's going to be a Kurz in a Toyota GT86, Subaru BRZ, and even a Volvo, let alone all the hypercars. Personalities? Of course racing has a ton. Like JF Musil, because now he's a racer too. His karting, lemons, and chump car. Or Matt Farah, or Mike Musto, or Mike Spinelli and Chris Harris. Frankly, the only guy not racing is me. But I'm not getting in a race car that A, looks like an abandoned car crime scene, or the clown car, or B, smells like the garbage from the food court at the New Jersey truck stop. I digress, you prima donna, right? Hey, if racing really focuses on these attributes and stops living in its own bubble economy and mindset, all will be good, or at least better. So again, the list: aspirations, anxieties, how-tos, David and Goliath, contrarian views, glitz and glamour, new trends, relevance, personalities, and authenticity. Now, you tell me, which racing series checks most or all of those boxes and is getting it right? I want your opinion. Thanks for being here. And tune in for the 4 new versions of ShakeDown in 2013. Listen, I'm probably taking next week off as we head to Laguna Seca and the LMS action. But we'll be back every week after that from then on, starting with our first TrackDown. Later.